Toronto condo rent skyrocketed this month. Is it a good time to purchase an investment condo? Which cities in GTA is most worthy? Hi, my name is Priscilla. I'm a real estate broker in the Greater Toronto area. Today, let's talk about condo purchase versus rent. Now, there are two purposes for this discussion. First, we want to compare the cash request of owning a condo unit, its monthly mortgage cost versus renting one. Then we want to use this method to evaluate several cities in the Greater Toronto area and find out which one is most worthwhile to invest or purchase. So we take Vaughan, one of the 9 cities in York region, as an example. In July 2022, the average condo sold price is around $632,600, and we use this number to start our calculation. You can come to my website, priscillahanrealty.com, and find the mortgage calculator. You key in the average sold price for city of Vaughan for condo apartment, so $632,600 if you pay 20% down payment and amortize for 25 years. As for interest rate, we choose 3-year variable, which is one of very popular products, many borrowers to choose. And one of the lender provide 3.6%. So let's choose this for the calculation purpose. And we realize the mortgage is $2,553. Let's remember this number. Okay, so now we have the result. The mortgage payment is $2,553, and the rent, the average rent for condo apartment in Vaughan in July 2022 is $2,527. So you can see to own one, the mortgage cost is pretty much the same as renting one in Vaughan in last month. Okay, so the mortgage cost versus rent, the percentage is 101%. Okay, so because these two numbers are pretty much on par. So now remember this calculation method and take this method to evaluate other cities. So in order to save time, this is directly the result. We put out the past 30 days from July 15 to August 15. So in the past 1 month, we compare 6 cities or areas. They are Mississauga, Markham, Richmond Hill, Vaughan, and 2 hot renting areas in city of Toronto. They are Toronto Downtown Core and North York. These are the average rent for the observation period and the average condo apartment sold price. And we use current periods 3-year variable 3.6% to calculate the monthly mortgage. Now you can see, I think this the result must interest you. The lowest is Mississauga. As you can see, actually, the monthly mortgage is even lower than average run. So the monthly mortgage to rent is actually below 100%. So from this sense, it's really worthwhile to directly own a condo apartment in Mississauga instead of renting one. But that there are some areas, some cities that's to own one is much higher. The cash requirement is much higher than renting, such as Markham. You can see it's 114%, and North York in City of Toronto is 112%. I do want to point out here, this calculation method has several limitations. The first thing is I mentioned earlier on, this is average rent. It doesn't take into consideration the maintenance fee and the mortgage interest, several other carrying costs. And in some cases, if in a city, the typical condo apartment is older, so they might have a low average sold price. So in this calculation method, they might appear to be very appealing. But because their condo is older, their maintenance fee can be high. So the net rent income might be diminished by the high amount of maintenance fee. But in this method, it won't reflect that fact. So Again, this is not a rental yield. It's just a rough guidance, rough indicator for you to have a sense, the mortgage cost versus average rent. Another thing I want to point out is that when we say the monthly mortgage is this much, it can be just pretty much the same or slightly higher, slightly lower than the average rent. The monthly average is not totally cost, because in the amount, for example, for Wong, you pay 2,554, a big chunk of it actually goes to pay your equity. It's an equity building access. You're just gradually building an equity of owning the ownership of this condo apartment. That's not a cost. Only mortgage interest is a cost. So there's another website we can take a reference. So this is an American website called calculator.net. So in this calculation, they really only take the mortgage interest as a cost. So let's take a live case for exercise. I chose one downtown Toronto building as an example, 70 Temperance. This is a relatively new building. Lots of foreign students or the white collars, they're renting this area. So just in the past 30 days, there's 2+1 unit sold for $820,000 in this building. This is actually a typical sold price in that building in the past 1 month. So let's just take this number as an example, $820,000. And the rent in the past 30 days for this building, if it's a 2-bedroom, there are 10 transactions, and the median is about 3,300. So let's use these two numbers. Average sold price at $820,000 and average rent at 3,300. And I plug in some variables according to my best knowledge. I do not go through all of them one by one, but you can obviously come back and put down your own assumption. But if we use these two numbers to start and we calculate, it will tell you buying is cheaper if you stay for 1.9 years or longer. Otherwise, renting is cheaper. So basically, for relatively short period of time, if you want to still stay here, you should buy. It makes no sense for you to rent long term. Why? Because you can see the rent cost keeps going up. In a bigger city where population is coming in, the rent rarely goes down. But for the mortgage, after the first couple years, you pay a lot of interest. Afterwards, it's mostly just the principal. And the principal is correspondent to much less interest. And only interest is considered the cost. I said already, principals, they're helping you to build equity. They shouldn't really be considered as a cost. So you can see quickly, very quickly, starting from the 7 years, it's already dropped to 1,000. So in a way of that, it's much more sensible for you to own a property rather than renting. If you want to, it's for your own residence and you want to have it for long term. Okay, so this is the end of this video. If you have any recent purchase or sell plan, please feel welcome to talk to me. We can cater the best purchase or sell strategy for you. Looking forward to connecting with you in next video.